Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We are here with Brandy and Maple, and we're going to demonstrate all the obedience commands your girls learned here at school. But first we're going to start off by introducing the training equipment. Brandy's got a standard 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in her right hand, which leaves her left hand free to make a correction. And the only correction we give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment. Now I will show you how to properly put that on and use it when Maple comes home on Thursday. Now the first command we're going to demonstrate is heeling. Heeling is properly walking on the leash, always on your left, and the command is Maple heel. Now at this point Maple's got a job to do, and that's to stay even with Brandy's left leg, no forging ahead, no lagging behind, and you'll notice whenever Brandy stops, Maple's been trained to automatically sit and wait for the next command. Now because we have the camera and the tripod out, you'll notice Maple wants to kind of spin around and look at me, but she is sitting automatically, very, very nicely, and this is nice when you're trying to cross the street in the city, taking a walk and wanting to stop and talk to a neighbor. But you can see she's not forging ahead, not lagging behind. She should adjust to your pace. So if you're out taking a brisk walk, she should adjust to your pace nicely. If you're taking a nice leisurely stroll, she should do that as well. So don't feel like you have to adjust to her pace. She should adjust to yours. Now we always recommend that you practice with your dog every day and keep your training sessions relatively short. 15-20 minutes is long enough. Now Brandy's going to demonstrate the sit-stay. Have Maple seated at your left. Brandy uses her left hand and the one-word firm command to stay. Now with your stationary command, start off at 20 or 30 seconds and then eventually work your way up to 3 minutes with your sit-stay. When Brandy returns back to her dog, she's going to walk all the way around Maple as an added distraction. She gets back to heel position, and at this point Maple's ready for another job, and they take off heeling again. And this obedience training is going to help a lot with just her self-control, her maturity, her focus. It's going to give you a lot of advantages inside and outside. Nice automatic sit. We're going to go ahead and show you the stay command again. She uses her left hand again and the one-word firm command to stay. And the only time we use her name in training is when you're heeling with her or when you're calling her. And Brandy's going to demonstrate that recall command. The command is Maple come. You can use your leash as a guide to kind of get her to come back to you if you need to, but her job is to come back and sit facing you, not come back and jump on you. You can practice these commands too indoors. Obedience training doesn't necessarily just have to be done outside. If she doesn't sit, you may have seen a little tiny tug on the training collar. Brandy has her sit and stay again. Have her hold this for a few seconds and then call her out of that.
Maple come.
Again, it's Maple come. She should come back and sit facing you, and then Brandy does what we call our finish command and gets Maple back to heel position, which again is always on your left. Brandy makes a sudden turn. Maple's right there on her hip. Another nice automatic sit. Now the next command we're going to demonstrate is the down from heel position. Again, Brandy will use her left hand and the one-word firm command to down and to stay. With your down stays, you can have them last a little bit longer. Start off again at 30 seconds or so, but eventually working up to 5 minutes. Take your time getting to that 5-minute mark, though it may take you weeks or a month or two. Brandy walks around her as an added distraction, then they take off heeling again. And we like to use praise as our primary motivator here at school. We try not to use food if we don't have to. Praise is readily available and treats sometimes always aren't. Nice automatic sit, down and stay. And again, we don't use her name with these stationary commands. The only time we use her name is when she's moving, so heeling or being called. We always say sniffing is a distraction, so you can correct her for sniffing. If Brandy wants to call her out of that, the command is Maple come. Again, uses that leash to guide Maple back. And again, the idea is that she comes back to you when called and she doesn't jump on you. On hot, kind of sticky days like today, it's important to keep your training sessions short. Either do it in the evening, do it in the morning. Very good. Brandy's going to show you that down command one more time. And stay. Brandy can call her out of that again. Maple, come. She comes back very nicely and sits. And if you can't hear Brandy, Brandy's praising Maple throughout this process, keeping her focused on her. And that's the important thing, that Maple's more focused on you than what's going on around her. She's a really smart puppy. And then the very last command we're going to demonstrate is our down from a distance. Brandy will put Maple on a sit stay. Goes out to the end of her leash and then uses her right hand and the one-word firm command to down. That was perfect. And as Maple gets better and better for you, and if you're in a fenced-in area or indoors, you can drop the leash, increase your distance with that down command or with the come command. But she's done a really nice job. Brandy returns back to her dog, again walking all the way around as an added distraction. And that's how it's done. So we want to thank you so much for using Nora's Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer. Thank you for trusting us with Maple. She's done a really good job. We look forward to seeing you Thursday. And if you ever have any questions or think you need help in the future, don't hesitate to call. Again, thanks again from Nora's Dog Training Company. Have a great day.